Brad, and it's such an honor to be here as part of the Healers Gather Summit today. And thank you to our host, Helena, with Velocity Athletic Training for putting this on here today. So before I get into my presentation, I just want to say, there's a lot of people in life that struggle with this thing called health, our energy, and then our overall fulfillment and purpose in life. And that I was one of those people. And for the past 13 years, I've been on a journey, so to speak, how to figure this out, how to really take back what I call your health, energy, and your happiness. And so what I'm going to be sharing with you today is my story and my journey, what I've learned over the past 13 years about some of the mistakes that I've made, as well as some of the life hacks I've learned, some of the shortcuts that I've learned about how you too, if you are someone that has been struggling with your health, you've tried to lose weight, but you've gained it back, you've lost it and gained it back, you're on that yo-yo cycle. Your energy has been up and down all over the place. And then, of course, our health almost inevitably affects our self-esteem, our self-worth, our confidence, and all that. Well, is it actually possible to kind of mix and mesh all of these into one, and so that we can optimize our health, energy, and happiness, and that we can transform from that person that we are right now to that true person that we are meant to be? And the answer is actually yes, that we can do that. And I've spent the last 13 years on this journey. And so I thought, well, wouldn't it be neat if I put all of this together in a presentation in one big package and gave you some of the tips that I've learned and some of the mistakes that I've made, and hopefully that you will not have to make those same things. So we are going to get into that right now. And I'm going to start my PowerPoint here. Okay. And here we go. So yeah, I am Coach Brad, and this is my Couch to Healthy journey. And what we're going to be getting into today, I'm going to move this over here a little bit. So everybody wants to just jump right into the diet and exercise when we think about, having better health and more energy and all that. But one of the things that I've learned over the years and working with a lot of clients from a lot of walks of life, I've got a couple clients that are going through this right now as I'm giving this presentation, is that before we really emphasize the diet and the exercise and all of that, there are three things that we must do at the start of any new health journey, or regardless if it's new or if you're in the middle of a journey, there are these three things that we must do. So I'm going to go over those three things today. I'm also going to go over some key mistakes that I made along the way. Like I said, learn from my mistakes so that you don't hopefully make these same mistakes, and that we can avoid these, and that we can actually speed up the journey, because we want to live our best life as soon as possible, as fast as possible, as quick as possible. We want to just get on with life, and that's what this presentation is designed to do. That's what the overall Couch to Healthy program is designed to do. And then I'm also going to talk about three things that you can do, like right here, like right at the end of this presentation, to immediately, like literally, like right now, overnight, start taking back your health, energy, and your happiness. So let's just go ahead and dive right into this now. And hopefully there we go. So again, like I said, many years ago, okay, I was the guy that was struggling with the health, the energy, and the happiness. And if you're someone that is on that same boat right now, you're struggling with the health, energy, greater fulfillment in your life, and you feel like there's more to life, and you're looking for more, and you desire more, and you're tired of struggling, then believe me when I say, okay, that if you're ready to stop the struggle, okay, you're ready to get off of that yo-yo cycle, you're ready to conquer this health and wellness journey once and for all, to live that life of, like I say here on the slide, health, energy, and happiness, then by all means, you have absolutely come to the right place. And I'm going to move this around a little bit. So I want you to really know, before I dive into this, that regardless of where you are in your journey right now, whether you're, 10 pounds overweight, 100 pounds overweight, or maybe you're not overweight at all, but maybe you just want better energy or whatever, that it is absolutely possible to go forward, because where you are right now or where you've been in the past does not equal the future. I really want to emphasize that. It does not equal the future, okay? So we can, like I said, we can We can conquer this yo-yo cycle. We can conquer this journey of health and all of this once and for all. Believe me, I'm gonna get more into my story here very shortly. I struggled in the beginning, but it doesn't have to be that way. And what I'm presenting with you today are a lot of the keys to finally your journey. And yeah, get off the yo-yo cycle. You can see I'm smiling. I finally, once and for all, got off that yo-yo cycle about 7 years ago, and it has been amazing ever since. So we're going to continue on here. Okay. So, like I said, over the next 40 minutes, you're going to learn, okay, some of the biggest mistakes that people make on this journey, okay, with their health, energy, and happiness. How do I know this? Because I made all these mistakes myself. And on top of that, I'm constantly working with clients, in the past. And like I said, I have a couple right now that we're trying to steer them out of making these same mistakes. So that's a big one right there. Okay. Okay. We're also going to learn, like I said in the title, we're going to learn the 3 things that you absolutely must have in place, okay, in addition to the diet and exercise. And ideally, if you're brand new on the journey and you haven't even started the diet and exercise yet, then we absolutely want to get these 3 things in place. If you've already started diet and exercise, not a problem. We can go back right now, right here, and add these 3 things. And a quick metaphor, you have a house, okay? You would never have a solid structural house without the foundation. You need the concrete laid, you need the framing put up and all that. So these 3 things, you can think of them as laying the concrete foundation and putting up the structure before you add what I call the roof and the rest of the walls. So the roof can be like the exercise and the rest of the walls can be like the diet. But before that, you got to have the foundation. These 3 things, what I'm going to go over. And then the last one, okay. So again, 3 things that you can do right here, right now to immediately, begin to transform your life and get off that yo-yo cycle and take back your health and energy. So we're going to look at that too. Okay. So again, I know some of you are watching this and you're going up and you're going down, you're on that yo-yo cycle and you're not living life to the fullest. You wish that there could be more, that you had more or something like that. Believe me, I know because I've been there. And the first few years of my journey, I just remember sitting on the couch and thinking, there's got to be more than this. And thinking about all the things, that I wish I could do or that I wish I was doing, but I wasn't doing because my lethargy was holding me back. My lack of confidence was holding me back. My low self-esteem was holding me back. And I just knew, there's got to be more to life than just this right now. So if you feel that all of this right now is keeping you from living that life that you feel you deserve and desire, and if you truly want, okay, if you're ready to step up and own the journey, okay, and to conquer that journey with, like I say here, better health, more energy, greater happiness, okay, then I want to say this is a good presentation for you. This program I'm going to present was designed for exactly someone like you who was in my shoes 13 years ago. Because like I said, I've been there. I've been on this journey. Oh my gosh, and what a journey it's been. So we're going to get into my story here a little bit. So yeah, everyone, I'm Coach Brad, and thank you so much for being here. And it was 13 years ago. Yeah, I remember very vividly. I was very overweight, 50 pounds. I had that really, we call it an extra beer belly or Santa Claus belly. Sitting on my couch one day, and I just remember asking myself, how did I let this happen? And how did I get here? And why can't I do something about this? And I had a little bit of background in sports and tennis and soccer. I didn't know anything about nutrition. I didn't know anything about, exercise programs or any of that. But I just remember the pain and the disgust I felt with myself sitting on my bed at home that one day, just thinking, how did I let myself get that way? And at the time, yeah, no energy, no drive, no motivation. I remember, I remember very vividly for about a year leading up to this point right here, I would get up in the morning, do what everybody does, shower, brush your teeth, shave, eat breakfast, and go to work, do the work thing all day. I was married at the time. I had a young daughter at the time. I would come home, and what would I do? I would plop on the couch, turn on the TV because I just had no energy, no drive, no motivation. That low self-esteem that I've mentioned before, that lack of confidence. And I just, on a scale of 1 to 10 with 10 being completely thriving and 0 being in full-on survival mode. At this time, I was probably around a 1, maybe a 2 at the most. And so we're going to get into how I managed to turn that around. So yeah, like I say here, no purpose, meaning, or direction. And so, again, if you're watching this now, I can certainly relate to this because I have been there. But again, I want to emphasize where you are right now and where you were yesterday, last week, last month. That doesn't matter because it is possible to, we use the word transformation a lot. It is possible to become that person that you dream of being, to have that energy that you desire, to have that, that health, and to really, finally live a life of purpose. That's what life is all about. You can see it in me now. We're going to get into, in fact, let's do it right now. I'm going to go to the next slide. So yeah, this began my journey. Like I said, 13 years of research and development, attending seminars. I think I still was on that yo-yo cycle for about, I think 4 or 5, maybe almost 6 years, before I finally learned that, oh, this is how you conquer that yo-yo cycle once and for all, and finally live that life of greater fulfillment. So we are Okay, so I'm going to move this slide screen out of the way. I'm moving this around a little bit so we can see the slides. I'm not going to get into all of this, so those that are watching, you can certainly see what's on your screen right now, and you can go ahead and read this. But some of the highlights of this journey: one, I finally lost all the weight and kept it off for good. I finally got my insulin spikes under control. That was a huge one. I think it was about 6 years into my journey, maybe 5 years. I was still pre-diabetic. Yeah, if you can believe that, about halfway into my journey, I was actually pre-diabetic because I didn't understand about insulin and insulin spikes. So finally managed to get all of those under control. Finally kicked the sugar habit, the sugar addiction. Finally got all my sugar cravings under control. Okay. And probably most importantly, some of the things I discovered along the way is myself. Okay. And I discovered, why am I doing this? And so a question that people ask me a lot of time, well, how do you stay motivated? Or if you fall off the horse, how do you get back on? And it all goes right here. Okay. I discovered the right reason. For the first couple of years of this journey, I was doing it for the wrong reasons. And I'm going to get into that here very shortly. But yeah, I discovered my why. And then once I went through this, it led to a ton of other things that I had no idea in my life were going to happen. This presentation is one of them, becoming a podcast host. Okay. Finding my mission in life. Okay. And all of that, authoring, becoming a published author, all this crazy stuff that 13 years ago I had no idea was on the radar. And this one, I don't like to brag, but I like to put this one on here. So I just had my 50th birthday, and I had my last full health physical checkup when I was 47. So I should probably get another one. But when I was there, this was so cool. I'll never forget this. The doctor said, true story, this is exactly what he said, that I was the healthiest 47-year-old at the time that he had ever seen. And I just had to smile because, this would have been, that was 3 years ago. So this would have been, 10 years ago at the time when I had my physical. He would have said completely the opposite. If I'd had that physical 10 years ago, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, all this stuff. And so all of this that you're reading right here now, okay, the energy, the passion, the fulfillment, the no more cravings, all of that, that's what's happened to me. And that's what I want to share with you. That again, you can learn all of this. All of this is tools and techniques and skills that a lot of us who understand this, we're all using this. We're all doing the same things. This isn't a secret. This isn't, rocket science or anything like that. So, but yeah, so I've talked to a lot of clients. I know what it's like to be on this cycle, the frustration, the lack of ability to do things in life that you really want to do. You want to take that trip, but you just don't have the energy. Okay, the sugar cravings are still in control of you. The insulin spikes, okay, trying to get that hunger cycle under control. Okay, and probably a big one for me, is that lack of self-worth. On a scale, again, of 1 to 10, I'm a numbers guy. I like to do numbers. I say that, with 10 being complete confidence here, I'm just checking on my timer here. I want to make sure I stay on time. Before my self-worth, my self-confidence, the way I valued myself on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being like I said, completely thriving and high level of confidence, I was a one, maybe a two. And right now I'm probably an 8.5 or a nine. So yeah, I flipped it around 180, and it's amazing what life happens when you finally take back control of all of this stuff. So yeah, everything you see here, I've been through this, the lack of confidence, the unworthiness. I can't tell you how many clients I've worked with. They're dealing with huge medical costs. They think taking, I don't know, a pill or something is the answer, but it's not, okay? It's mindset, a mindset that's keeping you stuck. I was there for like the first 4 years. I didn't realize, oh, I got to change the way I think. I want a different outcome, okay? A really big one I put in here because I've worked with seniors for, gosh, going on, I guess almost 5 years now. Wow. And when I say seniors, I'm talking 80 to 105 years old. Okay. They're losing their independence because they're losing it's called sarcopenia. They're losing their muscle mass, which means they're losing their balance, their mobility, and their agility because they're not following that, that what I'll call that couch to healthy, or just that health and wellness lifestyle. And it's literally heartbreaking to see these seniors who were, vibrant and active just, 10 years ago and I'll quote one directly, bless her heart. She transitioned and passed it about 2 years ago, but she said, and I'll never forget this. She said, Brad, if I knew then what I know now, I would have taken better care of myself. And that has stuck with me for a couple of years now. And I really try to emphasize that to our senior community. The time to start this journey is now. There's no time like the present. So I don't know, where you are in your journey or what you think or any of that. And, perhaps there's some things that I said here that you can relate to. And I want to point out a couple facts real quick and this is current data right here that right now 34 million Americans in the United States. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in the United States, 34 million Americans are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes right now. And that number is projected to swell to 40 million by 2030 and approaching 60 million by 2060. Everything I'm presenting today, we don't have an understanding of. And here's another thing. Okay. Oh, obesity. And we're not talking even childhood obesity now. Okay. We know that childhood obesity in the United States and most Western type developed nations now is a major, major health pandemic. We don't talk about it as much as we should, but adult obesity in the US is approaching 50%. Okay. In 2000, it was roughly 12%. Now, 2018, it was 42%. Okay, 74% of Americans 20 or older are now considered overweight or obese. The United States military is now having a hard time recruiting and filling its numbers because most of the kids coming out of high school don't meet the basic weight requirements. It's just crazy. Okay. And this is true for the United States and for other countries around the world. Heart disease. Where does this heart disease come from? We're going to get into that in a second, but right here, I looked this number up and again, this is the United States, our Centers for Disease Control. 50,000 people per day across this planet are dying of heart disease. And here's the crazy thing, okay? Obesity is the root cause of all of this. Okay, inflammation and obesity are the root causes of all of these major health factors. Okay, heart disease, cancer, stroke. There's one in particular that I have not listed on here, and Alzheimer's. And there's starting to be more and more research about lifestyle as it pertains to Alzheimer's. Okay, so now we're going to get into some of the fun stuff here. Okay, so yeah, I made a ton of mistakes along my journey, and these are some of the most common ones that I've made that hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. But again, like I said, I still work with clients that are making some of these mistakes. So the number one mistake that I see clients making, okay, I'm going to move this screen here a little bit. Okay. People think that this is about losing weight. And I cannot be more succinct when I say this journey has nothing to do with losing weight. Losing weight is the byproduct of the number one goal of taking back your health, having better health, more energy, finding that greater sense of purpose in life. It's all about discovering who you are. Okay, it's all about focusing on becoming that person that you want to be. Okay, and all of my health and wellness programs, that's the very first question I ask. Well, and we're going to get into that here soon, is who is it that you choose to be? That's the number one thing to think about and to start focusing on. Okay, but that's the number one mistake people make is they think it's about losing weight. And if they lose weight, they'll be healthy. But it's actually the opposite. If you focus on being healthy, make that your primary focus, losing weight becomes a byproduct, and that is key to keeping it off. And again, so many folks in my position that have become coaches understand this. Okay, the second mistake. Okay, like I said, folks jump right into putting the roof on the house and putting the walls up, but they haven't built the foundation yet. Okay, so they jump ahead into diet and exercise, but they skipped the 3 steps, which I'm going to get into more detail here soon. Okay, you've got to have your foundation, you've got to pour the concrete for your house and do everything underneath, and then you've got to put up the framework for your walls. Okay, that's the mindset, vision, and why, which we're going to get into that too. Okay, and then the third mistake, okay, this is a big one, exercising too hard and too much. Okay, part of my program, what I've learned and what I've studied is I've created a slow, easy exercise program that trains the metabolism to burn fat for fuel, and it's all based on age and heart rate. Okay, CrossFit is all the rave right now. That's high intensity, and that's definitely part of the program. But doing high intensity all the time, 3, 4, 5 days a week, that's not sustainable as you begin to age, especially if you're over 40. That's very true. And trying to, our system gets confused. Am I going to burn carbohydrates here or what's going on? Am I burning fat for fuel? The system doesn't know which. So we've got to train our systems to use fat for fuel, and people are not doing that. And that's why they're keeping weight on or gaining it back. Okay. And then a huge mistake, number 4, people have the wrong why. That was me for the first 4 years. I just thought it was about losing weight. Why am I doing this? Why am I trying to ride a bike every day for 3 weeks? Because I had the wrong why. When I started this journey, I thought it was about losing weight. I had no clue. I didn't know, what to eat or exercise. And the only thing I had an exercise bike in my garage. And I remember this. I got on that bike and I just rode as hard as I could for every day, like 20, 30, 45 minutes. Completely overdid it. But not only that, I only lasted 3 weeks. That's all. My motivation, my desire lasted 3 weeks, and then I was back to square one again because I had the wrong why. And there are a lot of valid whys out there. I get that, wanting to fit into a certain size dress for a wedding, or wanting to be able to play with the grandkids. Those are great whys, but those are external whys. So we've got to get deeper. We've got to go internally. What is this really about? Again, it's not about losing weight. It's a journey of self-discovery, about becoming who you are. Okay. Another big mistake I learned along the way, and this goes against conventional wisdom and conventional thinking, that you need to eat 3 meals a day with snacks included sometimes. And the truth is, you don't. Okay. You've heard of intermittent fasting. I teach something similar. It's called intermittent eating, which when that is combined with training your system to use fat for fuel, you can get by with 1, 2 healthy meals a day. Okay. And then the biggest one of all mistake that I see people making is that they don't develop the new habits. And they don't create the new habits because they're unsure about the items 1 through 5 that I've listed here. And again, they just go to the diet and exercise. And like for me, I didn't even do the diet in the beginning, but riding my bike, it just lasted 3 weeks. Okay. So we've got to have when you build a house, you build it in the right order. You've got to have the foundation first. So what I want you to take away from all of this right here, right now, is that regardless of where you are in your journey, okay, know that better health and more energy, and again, living that life of more meaning and purpose, that it is absolutely 100% achievable. It doesn't matter if you're not overweight, you're 500 pounds overweight, you're in a state of low, energy, maybe even depression. I've been in those states also. Okay. None of that matters. Okay. It is possible to get all of that back. Okay. So we're going to continue on here. This is a quote I put in here. I like this. Yeah. So if you don't want a different outcome, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want a different outcome, as Albert Einstein says, we got to come up with a new strategy. So we're going to start getting into that now. So what are the things that some of the biggest factors that are causing folks in general out there today to have, what we'll call poor health, meaning the overweight, the cholesterol, the insulin spikes, the sugar cravings, all that, which leads to the low energy and really keeping you from living that higher quality of life. Okay. What folks are doing, what they eat. Okay. This is very important. What we eat, a lot of people understand that, but what they don't understand is when we eat and then how we eat. Okay, these two are really critical. You can open up just about any nutrition book. They'll tell you, well, fruits and vegetables and protein, whether it's plant or animal protein. Okay, that's not that complicated. But when you eat, and even more importantly than when you eat, whether it's, 9 a.m., noon, or 3, whatever that is, how you eat. Okay, that's a critical thing that people don't understand. Okay. People have habits like alcohol and nicotine. Okay. This is keeping their health down and all of that. How much okay, I use the word exercise here. I teach a different word, wellness and movement. Okay. How much, are you getting the minimum 2 times per day for 5 minutes in? Okay. So these are things that you have control over. Sleep and rest. Your thinking. This is, I'm going to get into this, but your thinking is the number one factor that will propel you forward or that will keep you where you are in your life. And so that is the biggest. It can either be an anchor or like a jet engine that propels you forward. Okay. And then another one that people never even think about, as I mentioned before, you've got to have that foundation built before you put up the diet and the exercise, the roof and the walls. Well, most people don't have a vision for who they want to become and what their health wants to look like or who they want to be, a year from now or 5 years from now. Okay. And that's why they're unable to create these new habits. Okay. So again, I want to emphasize what really matters on this journey. Okay. Is not where you are now or even who you are now. That doesn't matter. What matters is where you are going with your life right now and who it is that you want to become that person. Okay. So your health and energy affects everything about your life. So I really want to emphasize again, because I've worked in senior wellness, the most valuable thing that you have in your life, this is worth more than 1,000 ounces of gold. Okay. Worth more than anything in the world. Okay. What is that thing? Okay. Obviously it's your health. Okay. And I'll never forget the quote that she said to me that day that, Brad, if I knew then what I know now, she was 86 at the time, really, really struggling. And again, that's an advanced age. But I'll never forget when she said, Brad, if I knew then what I know now, I would have taken much better care of myself. So that's what we want to do. And that's what I'm on a mission to do. Okay. So yeah, your greatest wealth is your health. Okay. You didn't come this far only to come this far. So this is a cute little cartoon that I like to put in here. If I ask any of you right now watching this, I can almost guarantee you've thought about your retirement and your financial planning. If you're in the United States, you probably are familiar with a 401k or a traditional or Roth IRA or index annuities or something like that. But you are familiar to a certain degree with financial retirement and planning. You probably even have an investor or an advisor, someone that you work with. But here's the key. Most people don't have a long-term health and retirement plan. They don't have a long-term health and wellness retirement plan. You can have $10 trillion in the bank, but if you don't have your health and you're not able to do anything with it and someone else has power of attorney over you, it doesn't do a whole lot of good. So, all right, so that's been a lot of warm up. Are you all getting ready? Okay. Now is the time where we start to own our journey. We start to do something different. We start to take back our health, our energy. Okay. We start to move forward in life by reclaiming that health and energy that is rightfully ours and finally living that life of purpose. Okay. So here we go. I promised you that, okay, this is laying the foundation of the house. This is what we're getting into right now. So whether you're doing a diet and exercise or wherever you are in your journey, you must have the foundation built. And there are 3 key components that you must have for your foundation if you want this journey to be sustainable, if you want to conquer that yo-yo cycle once and for all. I didn't have any of these for the first several years. That's why I bounced on the yo-yo cycle on and off again for about 4, almost 5 years, actually almost 6 years, until about 7 years ago when I finally understood these 3 things that I'm going to share with you right here. So Number one, to build your foundation, you've got to have your mindset. You've got to have what I call a championship CEO of your own health mindset. I sometimes call it a MindStrong mindset. That's another brand that I created. But if you want optimal health, if you want the good health, you have to have a mindset that reflects that. Most people don't even do that. You can't want better health and think to yourself, well, I'm not capable of this or something like that. Okay. Your mindset has to be focused on becoming healthy, becoming that new you. Vision. Most people on this journey lack a vision for their health and for who they want to be. And I can tell you, along with mindset, vision is the number one key that keeps people in the struggle, that keeps them stuck, that keeps them from conquering that yo-yo cycle once and for all. Okay? And then, like I said, know your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you on your journey? You might have a why, but is it the right why? Okay. Is it a why that deeply resonates with you? And then, of course, I like to say this, if they don't have the right program either, you got to get the right program. Okay. That's what we're all about here. Okay. So, unfortunately, I am limited for time. I've got just a little over about 20 minutes left here today. So I can't go into all of these with you. But the main factor that we're going to do right now. So if you are watching this, I want to say very quickly, I should have said this at the beginning, grab a pen and grab some paper because we're about to do some serious work here. Okay. And yeah, if I go too fast or whatever, don't worry. There's going to be copies of this available. And at the end, I'll be sharing my information, how you can get in contact with me, all of that. So again, yeah, I am kind of speeding this up a little bit for time, but don't worry about that. Like I said, there's ways to reach me after this. So, okay, I just gave you three: mindset, vision, and why. Which one of these is most vital to your long-term success? Well, all three are vital that have to be in place, along with the diet and exercise if you want to conquer that yo-yo cycle, if you want to slay, that struggle and get off that and slay it once and for all. So, which one is the most vital? Yeah, it's mindset, the way you think. The way you think right now will determine your future path, okay? Look at what's going on in your life now, and I can almost guarantee that it is a reflection of the way that you have been thinking. So, if we want better health, we've got to first start with our mindset, okay? Yeah, so again, it's what I call developing that championship CEO of your own health mindset. Okay. If you want to be a CEO of a major company, you've got to think like a CEO. If you want to be a CEO of your own health, then yeah, it makes sense. You've got to have that CEO mindset. So that's what we're going to get into right now. So again, grab your pen and paper, whatever you got, because we're gonna start doing some practical work here. So I throw this in there. So mindset, yeah, it's just simply the beliefs you have about yourself and the world around you. If you have a mindset that says, I'm not worthy of doing this or I'm not worthy of being healthy, then you're going to have a hard time conquering that yo-yo cycle. Okay. So we've got to get the mindset that says, I am worthy, that says, I am enough. Okay. And it's absolutely possible. That's part of the Couch to Healthy program. Okay. It goes way beyond diet and exercise. Okay. It gets into all of this, the mindset, the vision, and the why. Okay, I'm gonna speed up here. Okay, so I'm gonna jump ahead here. So yeah, so when I talk about mindset, this goes so far beyond positive thinking. I mean, sure, this positive self-talk, yeah, blah blah blah. This goes way beyond that. This is a mindset about creating the new version of you. If you imagine you're like a piece of clay right now and you're going to start sculpting yourself, okay, this is the mindset that is going to begin sculpting you into that person that you want to be. And so it consists of three parts, okay? The first one, write this question down, okay? Who do you imagine being? Because we're going to get more into this in just a second. Okay, the second question, who do you choose to be? My life completely changed forever when I switched from, oh, I want to lose weight to, oh, you know what? I choose to be a person that is healthy. That one shift right there did 180 on my life. That shift in the mindset right there is what finally allowed me to start conquering that yo-yo cycle once and for all. When I finally stopped thinking about losing weight and started thinking about this person that I wanted to be, this person that was healthy, that was fit, healthy, and happy, as I called it then. Okay. And the number one question, most important of all, is who are you? Okay. You answer sincerely these three questions, not from your mind, but from a place deep within, with your heart. You know, I always tell people, think with your head, you're dead. Feel with your heart, you're smart. Okay, you're going to get over that mindset. So now you got your pen, you got your paper. I should have mentioned write those 3 questions down. If you didn't, that's all right. We're going to get into that now. So let's create that mindset now. Here we go. So this is the exact same exercise that I took myself through a couple of, 6, 7 years ago when I did this. So just sit back for a second, take the deep breath, and who do you imagine yourself being? Okay. Imagine yourself being a fearless leader of leaders. Okay. One of my favorite ones, a lean, mean health and wellness machine. Okay. Imagine yourself just being this bundle full of health and energy and happiness. Okay. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? Okay. Imagine yourself being the best version of you. Okay. So if you have a chance, okay, that first question, who do you imagine being? Jot some notes down. Who do you imagine yourself being? And you can certainly go back. Like I said, I have to hurry through this and kind of take a look at those questions later. This is my favorite one, okay? You're not strong enough to withstand the storm. This is what I thought about myself 7 years ago. I thought I wasn't strong enough. I thought I wasn't capable enough, okay? And today I whispered into the devil's ear, I am the storm. So imagine yourself being the storm. That's who I imagine myself being. So when my confidence and my self-worth before was at a 2, I did not imagine this. Now with my confidence being around an 8.5 to maybe 9, 9.5, I imagine that I am the storm. Okay, I am that unstoppable force of nature. That's the person that I wanted to become. And that's what shifted from unworthy to worthy. That's what shifted me from, oh, I'm not good enough to I am good enough. Okay. So take a moment. Imagine the best possible outcome for your life. Okay. Imagine that right now, all the health, energy, and happiness that you desire. Okay. How would that feel for you? Okay. What would that look like for you? Okay. And what would you do? What would you do? I never in a million years imagined that I would be a health coach and presenting here at this today, because that's how my life has really taken off. But if I had never started this journey, if I had never switched my mind, you know, from losing weight to, oh, I'm someone that chooses to be healthy, I can guarantee I would not be sitting here with you today. So the second question, what are you choosing? Okay, are you choosing belief over doubt? Are you choosing faith over fear? Okay, are you saying, I think I can, or are you saying, I know I can? There's a big difference between the two, okay? I think I can, but that doesn't mean I will. I know I can means I am, okay? Another thing that made all the difference in my life when I finally wanted to conquer this cycle once and for all, I had to put my foot down and I finally had to say, you know what? I am choosing faith over fear. I am choosing health over unhealth. I am choosing to rise over fall. So the number 2 question, you've got to have this as part of your foundation, is what are you choosing? Okay, what are you choosing? And the third one is you've got to know who you are. This is not about losing weight. This is about discovering who you are. Okay, I'm going to start to speed up a little bit. I see I'm getting close to my time. So I'll let you read this, but my favorite one right here, this is my mission. I am a source of love and health for the world. Okay, a dynamic, passionate leader. I am a leader of leaders. I am the storm. Okay, who are you? You answer these 3 questions, write them down, take some time, go through them. You know, all of this is in the Couch to Healthy curriculum. I'll show you that here soon, but these 3 questions are what are going to get you over the hump and get you to be sustainable on any health journey once and for all. Okay, so yeah, the question becomes, if you don't have a CEO of your health mindset, well, how do you get on this path? And to be honest, I don't know how. I don't. So having the right mindset is key to what I call making or breaking the health and wellness journey for the long term. Okay, having the right mindset is key to whatever you have going on in life. Like I said, if you want to be a CEO entrepreneur, you've got to have a CEO entrepreneur mindset. If you want to be a football coach, you have to have a football mindset. And I don't know how you would be a football coach with a track mindset, for example. I don't know how that would work. So having the right mindset. So take a moment again. Okay, answer these questions. Who do you imagine yourself being? Okay, who do you choose? What are you choosing? Okay, and who am I? Who are you? Okay, for me, I've written my answers here, and then in just a moment, we're going to combine these into what I call our mindset statement. Okay, so again, I'm going through this pretty quickly, but you can write these questions down and take your time and don't try to think of an answer. Kind of just let the answer come to you. Sit back, just daydream a little bit. Imagine that best version of you. What would that feel like? What would that look like? Who would you be? Okay, what are you choosing? And then who are you? Okay? You've got to know who you are. These three right here, without these three, I would still be on the yo-yo cycle. I guarantee it. Without these three, I would not be here on this seminar presentation today. So I did all of this for me. You just saw my answers, and you combine them into a mindset statement. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, if for those that are watching, that is what is the foundation for your house. Now that we've got this in place, now we can put the roof on, which I said is the diet. Now we can put the walls up, which I said is the exercise. But even if you skipped all these, we got to go back and do these. I tell you, I have a client right now. He tried to skip all this, and he was starting to fall off the horse. And now he's starting to realize that, oh, you can't skip those first three things. Yeah. Okay, so now it's your turn. Make a choice. Take a chance. If you want to do something, if you want a different outcome, you got to do something different. Okay, if you're satisfied with status quo, then yeah, you don't have to make any changes at all. Okay, but that's your personal work moving forward. I call it your mission assignment. Okay, those three questions. Okay. But remember, I said mindset is just one piece of the puzzle. Okay, there's a whole lot of other pieces that we're going to get into very quickly. Okay, you can read some of these right here. I'm going to move this screen out of the way a little bit if I can. Okay, so yeah, all of these go into the health and wellness journey. Your vision, I talked about, knowing your why. Okay, what are you eating? When are you eating? How are you eating? You see, I've got when period, H period, E. You know, that's an acronym. It stands for when hunger ensues naturally. Okay, that's a big deal. Okay. Balancing our blood sugar and our insulin level. That's key to this, okay? Doing the right type of exercise, tackling the gut health issues, okay? Finding ways to de-stress and getting more restful sleep, and finally get in line with your higher purpose and calling. These are all pieces of the puzzle. I just gave you one tiny piece, okay? All of this is in that Couch to Healthy curriculum, okay? So I don't know where you are in your journey, and I don't know especially where you want to be 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. I don't know where you want to be 5 years from now, okay? But, okay, if you want to transform and go from where you are now to something bigger, something better, okay? All of these pieces of that puzzle need to be addressed, okay? And all of these are in that Couch to Healthy program. So if you're ready to finally, and again, I don't know where you are in your journey or what your situation is, but if you are still struggling, if you are still on that yo-yo cycle and you're ready to get off and claim that life that is rightfully yours, okay? You're in the right spot right here and now, okay? And you're ready to become that person that you were meant to be, okay? Here's three things very quickly. You can start right here, right now, okay? Immediately do this, okay? Commit to these starting right now. Eat one only all natural healthy meal per day. No sugars, no processed carbs. 5 minutes, that's a minimum. Okay, just 2 times per day, 5 minutes. If you can do more, better. Okay, and the third one, remember I said this is about mindset. Focus on becoming that higher vision of you, that higher version of you. Who do you want to be? These three things right now, and I don't know the stats, but overwhelming majority of people on this planet don't understand these three things right now. They ask me, well, what do I do right now? What's the first thing I could do? Start eating a healthy meal, start moving, and start focusing on that person that you want to become. Those are three things right there, okay? So I don't know. Whoops, I went over that real fast. Well, we skipped over it, but I don't know what you're doing, how it's working for you. But if you want something you've never had, then yeah, you've got to do something you've never done. Okay. So the old way, whatever that is for you, why don't we try a new way? Okay. A 12-week slow, easy. I emphasize this is a slow, easy, all natural. I should have thrown that in there. Wellness program. We take a look at every single one of those pieces of the puzzle: mindset, vision, why, what you're eating, when you're eating, how you're eating, what types of exercise you're doing, how you're doing it. Okay. All of this, we connect with that higher vision, that higher meaning and purpose. Okay. And I'm not saying this because this is my own program. I've done some of those other 90-day programs, 12-week, whatever. I've never seen anything as comprehensive that covers all of these pieces of the puzzle. Most of those other programs are just two pieces, the diet and the exercise. Okay. There are 12 pieces of the puzzle, and each one of these goes over these. So with the Couch to Healthy program, this is what you get. Okay. And I am starting to run out of time, so I'm going to speed this up. All of this, like I said, all those 12 pieces of the puzzle, all of that is covered in Couch to Healthy. Okay. And there's a ton more that we go. So if you're ready to get off the yo-yo cycle and the struggle, okay, you're willing to have an open mind and try something new, and you're finally ready to conquer that. I keep calling it the yo-yo cycle once and for all, in a way that I emphasize this, that is fun, safe, easy, and sustainable. Okay, this is 13 years of research and development, okay? But I want to make sure people understand. I'm going to go through this quick, okay? This is not a weight loss program. This is not a 90-day get quick fix program. This is none of that. If that's you, then again, this program is not for you. It's not a get in shape type program, okay? So this program is, like I said, going to tap into all 12 pieces of that puzzle, okay? Most importantly, focusing with mindset, working on those limiting beliefs. Okay. I'm putting this in here. So actually this program normally retails for similar programs are going for between $500 and $800. On my website, it's actually $265, but I'm giving a special discount right now. Okay. If anybody watching this, within the next 24 hours, if they want this program, you can go get it for $107. But, to support Helena and all of this and everybody on here, I'm offering it right now, an extra $50 off, $127. And that'll be good for, I'll keep it up for a couple hours because I know time is quick here. You can click on this link right here. It will take you right there. But yeah, like I said, this is a 50% savings, but everything in this program, this is 13 years of research and development of going to, names like Tony Robbins, Jack Canfield, Mark Divine, other seminars, Bob Proctor, reading some of those books, Martha Shimoff, I think, reading some of those books, learning from my mistakes and putting it in there. I was 50 pounds overweight, zero energy, no sense of meaning, direction, self-esteem, anything. And yeah, it is possible to transform, okay? So that's what this program is all about, okay? I've got about 3 minutes left here. I'm going to jump ahead. And, you get a bunch of free stuff too, right? So that's why it's really special to take advantage of this now, okay? Twice a month, I'm going to get on and I'm going to answer for an hour whatever questions you have about this program, and maybe even do a little one-on-one coaching. Okay, anyone that is interested, if you mention this, you saw it on this webinar right here, this presentation, I'll take an extra $10 off. Okay, you're going to get a ton of free stuff right here, a shopping guide, a food pyramid. I'm going to throw in my Walking for Health curriculum. That's actually valued at over $500. I've really reduced it here, okay? That's an entire 24-day done for you, get fit with walking program, okay? You'll have access to my private Facebook group, and most importantly, you're going to get a free ticket, okay, to my online Couch to Healthy 6-hour seminar, okay, where I'm just going to really dive into tons of detail on all of this, okay? That's a $500 ticket. You're going to get that for free, okay? So the value of all this is well over $1,000, easily over $2,000 or $3,000, okay? And like I said, I've invested over $10,000 of my own personal money into this program, 13 years worth of research and development, $127 right now. It's up to you. And like I said, I don't know where you are in your journey, where you want to be. Maybe this program is not the program for you. Again, I don't know. But if it was me, if I would have had something like this 13 years ago, it would have taken me a year to understand all of this. And this is a very comprehensive program, I'm not going to lie. You've got to really, really dig in and go through it. Okay. So here's a client that I've been working with recently. I'll give you a second there to read that. But yeah, if I would have had this program 13 years ago, I probably would have more hair now, a little bit, I like to say, because yeah, I had to learn a lot of this through trial and error and through mistakes and all of that. And luckily I was able to do that. So my time is up. Oh, finally, I want to add this. Okay, give it your best shot for 90 days. If you don't like it, you get 100% of your money back, no questions asked. That's how much I believe in this program, okay? And just for being here, I'm also going to give you a free, healthy, delicious, energy boosting recipe just for watching this webinar to the end right there. I'm going to give you that as well as, okay, my manual here. Okay, 6 elements to permanently keeping weight off. So if you want those two things right there, you can email me at info@trainingwithcoachbrad.com. You can message me on Instagram, Training with Coach Brad. And that's all I have for you today. And again, I'll leave it up to you, where you want to be, where you are now, and where you want to be a year from now. And appreciate you being here with me today. And I want to say thank you. And I always say at the end of all my podcasts and presentations, thank you and be well, be safe, be happy. We'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone.